I wanted to let you know I've been thinking long and hard about Daniel Andrews. And on the one hand, I feel sorry for him because he wakes up every morning knowing that he's going to have to front the media and give them an update on the numbers, which I think normally happens at around 11 o'clock. And by the way, Matty Pilios, thank you for this top. This top came from Matt Pilios. That's where it came from. It came from Matt Pilios, from Marshall White. I love wearing it. Hey, Raphael. Good morning, John. So let's get back to the story about Daniel Andrews. He rocks up and he presents the status each day, and like I got to tell you, he said something the other day which I thought was a strong comment, and that is leadership is about doing the right thing, not the easy thing. And I agree with that. That leadership is not a popularity contest. So I do feel for him, but I also accept that that gentleman has got a deficiency in management capabilities, and it's becoming quite obvious now that if you do a bit of an analysis and an autopsy of the processes and the processes that he has been overseeing, they've been on his watch, and those processes are contact tracing and testing, and there appears to be a big gap in the standards of those, way below the rest of the country, which basically says if he was a real estate business owner, he has shit systems. And shit systems create problems and chaos. And when you've got chaos, you spend your time being busy, not busy being productive. And that, my friends, has been his life. So I would say that he's not a bad person, but he's a shit person in terms of capabilities of doing the job. And I know that I have one client of mine who there was a 1 week before they got their results. So during that 1 week, you have the opportunity to infect a lot of people. And that's unacceptable. That's a process issue. But I'm sharing this video with you because I believe that an intelligent person is not going to spend their time arguing the events. An intelligent person is going to spend their time focusing on responses to the event. And what I'd like to share with you is some ideas that I have on how you should maximize, if you are in Melbourne, the next 6 weeks. One thing I'd like you to do is to dramatically improve your listing presentation. I'd like you to have a listing presentation that is so good that when you complete what you've said, that people basically give you a standing ovation. And you have a listing presentation that's a 10 out of 10. So the question I ask you is, what's your listing presentation like? Is it a 6 out of 10? Is it a 7 out of 10? Let's get it to a 10 out of 10. Let's make sure that your pre-list is 10 out of 10. Are you a person that's got a locus of control that says, I'm going to start doing things I've got control over, and I'm going to start letting go of things that I don't have control over? So let's go back to some of the things that I think you should be doing during this time. I'd be getting your listing presentation, where the way that you handle price, the way that you handle the marketing, the way that you handle, auction versus private treaty. I would seriously look at getting that being 10 out of 10. Then I'd have a look at talking to your damn family. I've got to tell you, sounds weird. I'm ashamed saying it, particularly to those of you in Melbourne. I got devastated when my daughter's school informed them that they would have to leave home when Sydney was in lockdown and come back to school, and that it was safe to come back to school. Do you realise that I may never have in my lifetime again an opportunity to spend 6 weeks with the most important people in my life? Do you realise that there's a good chance that once you're working your ass off again and you're putting in those 60 hours a week and you're stressed, it wasn't that long ago that you were living that life, that you'll be saying to yourself, shit, I need a break. I need a break. Well, let me tell you, there's a good chance that you're going to probably work through most of Christmas. You're probably going to work through all the way to Easter, because there ain't the big Christmas party this year, guys and girls. And people aren't heading off to Tokyo for snow skiing. And chances are that your clients are going to be where they are right now, at home, during the holiday period. So you're going to have a lot of time to do the work that you haven't been doing during restrictions. I'm also shooting this video because I'd like you all to tap on the door of the REIV and tell them what they already know and what they should convey in a very assertive manner to Daniel Andrews. And that is that it is far safer to take a buyer to look at a home one-on-one with sanitizer, with social distancing, than what it is to walk into Woolworths or Coles and buy some milk and bread. That's a fact. And I actually think that someone needs to sit down and say, hey, listen here, I want you to understand, this is how it works. Someone calls you and says, I'll see you at 12 Smith Street. You go to 12 Smith Street. You don't kiss the person. They're a buyer. They actually already hate real estate agents. So Mr. Daniel Andrews, you don't kiss the buyer. What you actually do is, by the way, share this video. I think a lot of people need to see this video, because the more people that this video gets circulated, the more that they'll realise, hey, something's wrong here. How is it possible that meeting a buyer at a property with your sanitizer and say, have a look around, have a look at that property, right? When they come back, you can be 5 meters away. What did you think of it? What price on a contract represents good value for you? Yeah? Okay, great. So what I'll do is I'll email you a contract and sign it. And then you can buy the house. How's that? And then you can do the same document for your mortgage broking. How is that not safer? How is that not safer than walking into Woolworths or Coles and buying milk and bread? And that, my friends, needs to be conveyed to Daniel Andrews. And the reason it needs to be conveyed to him is that that buyer may actually have to be out of the house that they're living in a short time. They need a home because people live in houses with roofs. They need a home. So it is essential. It is essential, right? So guys and girls, I think your best bet is not to carry on like a drama queen, but to use what you feel like in a constructive way. And that basically means that you are strong with your views to the REIV, because in Australia and in Victoria, that is the body that represents the real estate industry. and they do have a track record of actually impacting a decision. They did that last time around when they stopped around Easter time, if you can recall, private inspections, and then they allowed them. So there is evidence that via dialogue they might be able to get on the radar, right? So I'm hoping you also are calm and collected about all of this. And whenever the shit thing happens, I always say to myself, I'm going to try and look at things as they are, not better, not worse than what they are, right? I'm not going to be a catastrophizer. I'm going to be a person that is going to be a person of substance, and a person of substance has depth in their thinking. They think it through. Now is not a time to be a drama queen. Now is a time to be a person that sits down and says, well, we got a few projects that need to be worked on. Number one is project body. Let's get this body looking great for summer. Project number two, let's have an irresistible, unstoppable listing presentation. Let's put our time and effort in that one. Project number three, let's take the relationship, my marriage, my relationship with my kids, from a 6 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. That's a productive thing to do. The next one is, hey, there's a thing called Harvard Online. Taney's already doing one course. He's completed it. Go on there. You can do a free course. I don't know what course you want to do. What interests you? Anthropology, public speaking, how to become a app coder, learning the skills of being a life coach, even if you don't want to become one. Maybe you can be your own coach. What's the point? The point is that during this period of time, let me just have a look when my next appointment is. Gang, anyway, at the end of the day, I've just realised I have got a coaching session with clients in Melbourne booked in, and I'm going to have to go because I can't see the time on my phone. Can someone quickly tell me what the time is? Can you please tell me the time? Just put in the comment section, because I'm not wearing a watch and my phone, which normally has the time, is on the screen. So if someone can just give me the time, because I have an 11:30 I've got to be on. 11:28. Thank you, Peter. Guys and girls, I'm signing off. I've got to go.